I think we're pretty good here. Let's do this. I did finally get Cypher's EX Plus, and you know what? He is so much better than I actually thought he would be. He is a debuff master. That was also not necessary. Gotta pop the LD. I started Warrior of Light and was doing really well with him, and then I discovered that there's so much better characters. But one thing the Warrior of Light does really well though is his LD is amazing. Take, you know, Bosch's, you know, everyone, you know, doesn't get HP attacked, only he does, but then multiply it by like 7, where now everyone locks onto Warrior of Light, and he takes 0 HP damage for most of it, unless you're taking like a 90,000 brave hit damage. You're gonna live, you know? So I got 2 batteries. I got my debuff and my DPS. And we're making moves. They're gonna brave attack me because they got nothing else better to do. So for people curious about what this game is a turn-based RPG that is an online game that does have its own story, and it does have you know, extra events and other cool things you can really do. I don't really play with the storyline very much because I kind of just lost interest in it personally, but sometimes people really do play for it, and there is a global version of this game, but I do play the JP version because I actually lost my account and I started over and I got Vaughn's Burst, and I'm like, you know what, I'll stick with this. And then, you know, I just started getting some EXs and some LDs, which are not in the global version, but they are in the JP version, and they're really are what make a character, you know, unique and in its own, as well as EXs. So the way the game is set out and played out is, you know, you have, right here you have brave damage, and there's their max bravery that they can have, and of course they have an overflow capacity with their bravery that are able to make them stronger, better, etc. And so you have a brave attack, which lowers their bravery right here, and then you also have an HP attack, which will reduce you to 0, but due to some of these characters' passives and abilities and extra things you can do, you're able to, you know, get bravery, because if they hit you and they break your bravery as well, it's a, you know, bravery is how much damage you do, how much damage you resist, and then HP damage, of course, is applied as its own thing. You know, there's, of course, you know, debuffs, there's buffs, there's, you know, other actions you can do, elements. You know, people are weak to certain elements, people's attacks are certain elements as well, so you gotta really pertain to all those kind of things. You have area of effect damage, which is what Rude just did here, and then you have regular attacks. Battery is what fuels the other people's battery right here, with their brave, and then they're able to do, you know, stronger hits, higher hits, and a certain amount of damage. Thanks to my LD, she did 0 damage, and he does nothing at all either. And then EXs are what really made the game, you know, a whole brand new thing in and of itself, even before EX Plus came out. With the EXs, it's a replenishable ability over time that, as you can see, does phenomenal damage. You know, back then it was like, you know, 3 hits and, you know, an HP attack, and it gave you a special ability. It would recover your health. It would do, you know, various things to strengthen you as a person. So you of course had your regular HP attack or your brave attack, and back then it was just brave attack, HP attack, and one ability that barely ever was a HP ability, or that had a brave attack with an HP ability. I guess it's really the basics on the fighting style is that as you attack, you gain bravery, and as you get attacked, you lose bravery. Bravery is your defense, and how much damage you deal. So it's what really makes you strategize what you're exactly going to be doing against the enemies. You do get support units that are able to do their own thing, and right here, this is my support unit friend with Sephiroth, with an entire master board, a bunch of crazy stuff that I wish I could have. But, you know, to much of my dismay, I don't have his EX. If I had his EX, he would be done. But that's something I can look towards soon. But I did get other people's EXs, and the EX Plus thing, which is different in an armor mechanic, is, so as you complete higher tier stages, or as you complete level 150 stages, you gain access to big boy stuff like what's called realizing your weapons. So when you realize your weapons, it awakens them into a whole brand new category that you're able to upgrade your attacks and you know, your abilities and everything even more. The issue is though, is that they're really hard to get if you're not very familiar with how to fight on high tier stages, where you got to be, you know, watching for debuffs, watching for buffs, watching for, you know, when this guy's gonna swing, you know, looking at who they're gonna attack, you know, figured out from there. Like she's gonna do an all attack ability, and gladly I have battery on everyone and a shield. So with that brave reduction barrier and stuff going on, it's not gonna do any damage to my characters very much at all. The friend calling ability, where I'm able to pull out my characters, is only a JP thing, which is the Japanese version of the game. You're able to. It's when you go to Crystal Strength 80. Oh, I forgot Crystal Strengths. So Crystal Strengths, that's also another thing that's pretty fun to learn about. Crystal Strengths are how you upgrade your abilities and how you get extra stuff towards your abilities. So then you get 2 abilities, and then you also get a CP65 ability, which is what also can really help you out through the game. Like his CP65, which is this guy right here, reduces brave damage taken by half, which is really great, and it lasts a few turns, and a lot of them usually do give you like an attack buff to, you know, kind of hit him a little harder. Unfortunately, my Warrior Elite's not very high tier when it comes to that, so he's not hitting very hard. These guys have a lot of debuffs and buffs going on everywhere. So, attacks have overflow. Overflow, which you can see right on the here, it's the 150. That means that it's able to go over 150%. So it's about, so it take 100, which is 68,000 for Warrior of Light, and then you're able to take 50% of that and overflow it to deal even more damage. That's if your attacks and your strength and, you know, all that stuff can achieve over that amount. So, you know, if you can do that, then you're doing good things. You know, you're taking care of business. Otherwise, sometimes people can't do that, and that's where you need to be able to arrange your characters to be able to take on such things. You know, characters that have debuffs like him are able to lower their defense and, you know, their max bravery and stuff like that, so I can do ridiculous attacks. And then, you know, you got characters that are able to increase everyone's attack so that they can do such things as well. I think it's about time to call in my friend. Burst abilities are also a thing that are only a part of the Japanese servers, where, as you can see, overflow is absolutely insane. They also get a burst ability that changes the tide of battle. Like, he has a 3-turn burst ability that puts all of their bravery at 1, and I break them, and whenever you break them, it delays their turns. So if I do a group attack, it's going to break every single one of them, give me a launch, and then reset their scale to 1 again, so I can do another one. Which, if y'all did not know, is absolutely broken. Because when you have AoE characters that just do insane damage, just goes hand in hand. Every character is unique to themselves, you know, what their special abilities, what their special things are. You know, you have DPS, you have support, you have saboteur, you know, you have healers, you have a bunch of things that you're able to attach to each character, you know, that has its own role. Sephiroth here is a complete DPS and saboteur because of that LD, which unfortunately is not part of JP, or not global just yet. Rude levels up everyone's max bravery and also heals, and whatever HP that he heals, that, you know, even though your health's already full, overflows into your max bravery. So what that means is your overflow goes even higher because then you have bravery in order to be able to do so. Now they're all going to attack, but it's going to be okay unless they're going to kill Sephiroth. Oh, they're all going to attack Sephiroth, but they're doing no damage because I forgot Cypher's EX causes Imperil, which means they do no brave damage. Makes them kind of weak. Now it's just you, Garland. Let's pop that EX. Woo! I think definitely my favorite character inside this game is hands down Rude, because he's everything I want in a support unit. I'm really big on support units. Like if I go online with someone else, I want to have support units. I want to be the support unit because everyone just loves to do DPS, which is no fun. But you know, he's Brave Battery, he does crazy damage, he has a nice overflow, and he recovers everyone's health. I mean, what's not there to like about that? So when you start the game, you go to Chapter 1, and you have to beat Chapter 1, and then you get 10,000 gems that you're able to do 2 summons pretty much for free. And then with the celebration going on, we're getting 8,000 gems, and we're also getting 3,000. And there's a lot of banners that are out there right now, especially for the burst banner. If you get yourself a burst and then an LD just to start out the game for like a, you know, a really strong character, and then look for a support unit of some sorts. You know, there's many support units. You know, it's available for certain characters, especially characters like Rude. There's Rinoa levels up people's bravery and attack. Saz really levels up everyone else as well. You know, it's only right that Warrior of Light finishes only his nemesis. Wow, I trusted you with one job, dude. Can't even do that. Which means I'm going to be cheap, and I'm going to Brave Attack so that he can do it again. Now finish him! Mortal Kombat. Trademark for them. So it all worked out. So yeah, that is Final Fantasy. Play the game. You won't regret it.